it's gonna reflect. It's gonna show. No matter how confident you are, if you have confusion, doubt, like whatever you're pouring into is what reflects. Like water is a reflection, or your body is a reflection. Things of that. You can look in water and literally see reflection. So I was, speaking life over water the other day, like going by the water, just a little practice. Like any doubt that I have, to let it flow. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm laughing like, I don't know if you want to go there. You want to go there?
Nah.
You sure?
You just asked how I was doing. That's all. Nah.
So I bet. Welcome to, I think it's 37 episode of Consult Lemonade's Tech Talk Tuesday. And I'm your host, if you would, Tiara's husband. So that means they got me working today. I'm Wally. And so I have none other than my man Brent, man, the extraordinary. I'll let him tell his story, but Brent Stratford, right?
Brent Stanford. Yeah.
Brent Stanford, please forgive me for the mess up on the names, because some of the stuff we do when we go into these rooms, we mess up names and mess up the bag. But nonetheless, we got Brent Stanford, and we are here for our 37th episode, man. That's a lot. That's a lot, man. But without further ado, man, I think this week we're talking about recruiting or the job market. Tell them why they will have you here on this episode.
So super happy to be here. Super grateful and honored to even to get the call. Sometimes you don't realize the experience you have and how it can help somebody else. Yeah. So sometimes it's good that somebody can highlight the things that you've done and say like, yo, there's value in that. So this being the 37th episode stood out to me because I just turned 37 in December.
Wow.
So when I seen that, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. No one told me. I just did my own little due diligence. I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable already.
Wow.
Yeah. So you could play tricks with your mind to make yourself feel more comfortable. And even if you aren't nervous, that just means you care.
That's good. That's good. I like the give yourself tips and tricks to put yourself in a position, whether you're nervous or not, but just make yourself comfortable about going into a room that you might not be comfortable going into. So that's good. That's a connecting point. So
for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up.
For sure.
That's what's up. 37. Yeah. So Brent, what is it that you do now? What that you did, and what experience do you bring to the table? Not just with Consult Lemonade, but throughout your life. What do you do?
So I would say I'm a bridge. At the end of the day. Yeah, like I'm a translator.
Okay.
And I lead through that.
Okay.
So if I'm in a position where I see there's an opportunity, and I know somebody who's aligned with that opportunity, and that's one thing I highlighted you for.
Wow.
Is just being a coach and just knowing who's on your team and who you can sub in and who you can plug and play with. So I've always had that skill as well, just being able to connect the dots and find joy in that. Like I might not be a guy, but I know a guy.
That's good. Yeah, that's it. Sure. That's it. And that is pretty much something that we do here and something that you do well. I know you're a big sports guy. We ain't got to run down all your accolades, but I mean, you're known in the area for, winning a chip or two, breaking some records. And I think that led into some of your experience in your career of being a recruiter and spotting out talent and making sure people are in the right position to score. So tell us some of the things, or some of the people that you work with, some of the things that you look for in helping other people score.
You talked about being in the right position.
Yeah.
That's fire. Because one thing I do like about Consult Lemonade and why I was always referencing back candidates when I'm in position and looking for opportunities that somebody can fit that role for, I thought about Consult Lemonade immediately.
Wow.
And I work for some top tech companies.
Okay.
Microsoft, Amazon, I had a short stint with Google as well. And one of the things I realized is, one, if your resume doesn't speak to the role, you're invisible. So I want to make sure I get this right. All right, here's two things I want to say. So if your resume doesn't speak to the role, you're invisible.
Okay.
And then also, hiring managers don't hire potential; they hire proof. So if you can't speak to what you've done, regardless of what your resume says, if you can't communicate that, if you can't create a storyline and create who, what, how I did it, and create that in a succinct way, they're not gonna receive it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so good. They don't hire potential; they hire proof. It sounds simple. I believe it's simple. I mean, I think we hire proof. Like we go into certain situations, we go in certain relationships, we go in certain partnerships. Like, prove to me what you did. Tell me some of your resume. If you can't actually say how you made something better, we actually don't believe you.
Right.
And so if we understand that when we go into these big companies or we're going to these companies looking to be hired, we're going to these companies based off their proof. So some of these companies that we are actually applying for, we're applying because we've done our research on, they prove to be a good company.
For sure.
And so we've done our research. And so if that's the case, you're saying when we go to these companies, we should at least have our proof, our story. One of the things we teach here is the START method, right? Which is a situation, a task, something attainable, and something realistic. Tell me a story on how that made sense for you, even in the role or a situation that you made something better.
Tell stories.
Tell stories.
Stories sell. Somebody that's a good storyteller is just captivating. And if they like you, that can win over a cultural hire. So there's hires to where the skill set may not be up to par as someone else's, but do people want to hang around you? Do people feel comfortable coming to you with problems, right? Are you receptive? Can people give you criticism, right? So I don't care how good you are. If you're not moldable to our culture, you're no good for me. Like, look at Golden State and their team, right? Or the Spurs or whatever team that you admire that has a culture, a standard of winning. It don't matter how good you are if they don't feel like you would align, or if there'll be so much tension to even get you to adapt to our way of doing things. So that's one reason why, to go back to your initial question with position, I connect back with Consult Lemonade candidates, is because I feel like if a role comes up and I don't have a lot of time, I can go to a company like Consult Lemonade and know that there's candidates that are positioned, that are ready. So when a coach looks on the end of the bench, he's looking to see who's ready to go into the game. So when I have an opportunity, account executive roles I've had, some cybersecurity roles. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, but I just know I can tap into a market with people that are positioned.
Well, and you said something really, really key. You said when a coach, someone who's looking to position somebody and to go into the game and do a job, you said they look on the bench to the reserves to see who's ready. And so what does being ready look like, being prepared?
That's a fire question. So it's being engaged, right? So if I am looking at somebody and they kind of slumped over, their body language already tells me they're checked out. Somebody who's actively applying for roles, somebody who's actively going to meetups, who has a LinkedIn profile, who is making posts, you're engaged. So that's a flow. You're in a flow state. So the job is already yours. The opportunity is already yours. What are you doing to close the gap? What are you doing to shrink the timeline? And the way you do that is staying active, getting your reps in, practicing interviews, things of that nature.
So that's funny. You said the practice, the flow state, being prepared. You said something about being prepared for the interview. I remember, I think we were talking offline and you were saying when you practice or not practice and you don't have What was that thing you was talking about, the 6 month thing?
Oh, yeah. So just because I'm a recruiter doesn't mean that I haven't been a candidate, right? And even as a recruiter, I'm still a candidate.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like to go 3, 6, 9 months without no interviews.
Yeah.
But you applying moderately diligently.
Yeah.
But you don't get no interviews.
Yeah.
So you kind of fall off from the skill set of interviewing, the storytelling skill set, the confidence in my ability skill set, the eye contact, the story, you know, all these different little nuances.
Yeah.
So you've gone 9 months without any reps. And then you get the opportunity of a lifetime, of the year.
Yeah.
And you aren't actively prepared for it.
Yeah.
And the higher and better the opportunity, the more competition there are for those roles. You want a $250,000 role, $300,000 role, you can't show up to the interview average when you're dealing with well-groomed players in that at that level.
All right, so let's go back, because the 200 and 250 might sound a stretch to some people, right? Would there be a difference if we're going for 60, 80, 90 in preparation? Because you served as a recruiter for us, right? You worked with us. You've helped and taught a lot of our resume building, a lot of our courses, a lot of our class. So you know what it looks like on a resume, in recruiting, in hiring process. So you've seen people that are skilled but not prepared.
For sure.
And because they're skilled and not prepared, it's not like they can't do the work. They just haven't been practicing the skill set or the interview process. We're not even talking 100 or say 200. We're talking about, are you practicing? Are you practicing for what you're prepared for? Praying for.
And you say the 60 or 80K $1,000 jobs. Like, do you prepare for those the same way you would a $200,000 and $300,000 job? Absolutely. If I was going into a job, for example, fast food, right?
Okay.
I would wear a suit to that same interview, because I'm not showing up for the job that I'm being hired for. I'm showing up for the job that I see myself in. So I'm preparing for that now. So
hold on. One more time. So say that one more time. That's really good.
So I'm not interviewing for the job that they're hiring for. I'm interviewing for the job I see myself becoming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. So you're not showing up for the job that you're applying for. You're showing up for the job that you see yourself in.
Especially if you feel like it's beneath you, right? So some people are pivoting into tech.
Yes.
And they feel like, oh, I'm already making 100K, but I'm not happy. So I want to pivot, but I want to keep the 100K.
Yeah.
So it's tension there. So it does take a little bit of a mindset shift to know that I am still valuable at this level.
Yeah.
Although I'm showing up in this capacity right now.
So I was talking earlier about hitting the home run. A lot of times we want to hit the home run when we just need to get on base. We just need to get in and then move around. Like, even though it's a trajectory on where you're trying to go, if you get in, you can work your way all the way through. You just got to get on base.
The home run is already yours. Like you say, you just got to get on base. The home run is already yours. So once you accept that abundance is your birthright, the home run is already in your pocket.
Yeah.
What can I do to create some currency, right?
Yeah.
To create some flow.
Yeah.
So that way opportunities align, right? So, just showing up, doing the work, and finding some type of sick enjoyment in the work without seeing the fruit of it yet.
Sick enjoyment?
So I read something the other day. They was like, passion, the root word or the Latin word for passion, it coincides with suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, find the suffering that you're willing to endure.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what passion. Y'all can look it up.
No, I'm with you.
It's like suffero or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the root word, the Latin word of etymology of passion. It means suffering. So when you become passionate about something, think about anything you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if it's food. People are passionate about food. I'm willing to drive an hour for the right this, for the right that.
That's so good. Of course, I'm everything begins with belief, right? And so I'm a firm believer on, you will put in the work for something that's not in front of you because you believe it's going to work, which is I'm willing to endure the work to get to another place, which is, hey, the joyful sickness of suffering now so I don't have to later. Mm-hmm. That's super.
Because, like we talked about earlier, like the belief and, what is the lie that you're believing?
Yeah.
When you leave a certain setting, you go home to work or go from work to home, you don't doubt, and I got this from Myron Golden, you don't doubt the idea that you're going to make it home. You're telling yourself that you're going to go home after the event.
Yeah.
When it comes to opportunities, we don't have that same conviction. We don't have that same belief, right? So where it's just innate. It's like, of course, I'm going home after this.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that you could get hit by a bus. You can get rerouted, run out of gas. You don't think about all these issues that you put in front of getting home. You just know you're going home.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the opportunity that you want, if you can tell yourself it's already yours, you can start to suppress that internal voice and that dialogue that's anything against you getting a job.
100%. We have a motto, our ABCs of Consult Lemonade: accept something has to change, believe it can, and commit to it. When you accept that something has to change, believe it can change, and commit to the change, your address is automatic.
Yeah.
You just got to put the work in, man. So tell us about the market, like the market that you see, the AI, the world, the job. We keep hearing it's 7,500,000 jobs available, whether it's AI or tech or whatever the case may be. What are some of the things or some of the myths that you hear and know about when it comes to the job market? What are we believing that what are we believing that won't happen, or when we put ourselves in certain situations, what are some of the things that we're doing wrong when we get to these places?
When we get to the places, I would say clarity is better than experience.
Mm-hmm.
So your ability to adequately know what you're applying for, right? So positioning is better than applying for more roles. So it's not always about the quantity, but it's also about, is your resume targeted in a certain direction?
Yes.
So although you do it is a numbers game for sure. Just being mindful that we use a lot of Boolean searches, a lot of keyword searches. So as I touched on earlier, if your resume doesn't speak to certain searches that we use, like certain query searches that we use to expedite and target certain persons, you're literally invisible. So
this is good. So you're saying, and I'm huge on actively waiting, right? So you're saying, once again, not just a home run, get on base. So if you're saying positioning, when you're clear on where you're trying to go, get in position, whereas though it might not hit here, but if you're in position, you can work your way all the way through.
Yeah.
Because you're clear on where you're trying to get to.
And then everybody gonna call you lucky for getting that big time job, not knowing that you had the plan, or you had the goal first. You had the vision, you had the goal, right? Whatever the job is.
Yeah.
And then you create a plan, and that plan could be applying to X amount of jobs, showing up to this amount of networking, and then you create a strategy around it, knowing what times are best to apply for the jobs, right? Sometimes I'm not a morning person. I got to work this job. Okay, cool. On my lunch break, I got to do this. Or if you really are limited on time, there's some super game that I did back in the day is I hired a virtual assistant, gave them my Indeed email account. If you trust them, obviously build a rapport, you interview. But I gave them my Indeed login credentials, my LinkedIn login credentials, or whatever platform I'm using to apply for roles, and allow them to apply for 30 to 50 jobs. Spend an hour with them and to help them align with what type of roles you're looking for. And then now you have another firepower on your back end applying for roles that you say you didn't have time for.
So 30, 50 jobs. Let's get to this. Clarity and positioning versus 30 to 50 jobs.
For sure. So it is a numbers game, but you want to make sure that, you're shooting at the right basket per se.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So being as though know exactly what your target is. So we don't have to do a bunch of shots, right? So we don't really need, and we're not saying wait for the perfect job. But it's totally different when you're going after 30 roles, throwing anything out there, versus you know exactly what the goal is, the certain jobs, the 10 jobs that you're going for, and what it looks like, and where you're trying to end up.
Yeah, now once you get that fine-tuned approach, then you can apply for more volume. Because you're really just sharpening your blade at that point.
Got it.
So that way when people say you're lucky, it's like, nah, I've applied to 100 jobs.
Yeah.
Like I'm due. I'm just like, it's mine. I'm just waiting for the time, really.
Yeah.
I'm just shortening the gap between the offer stage and me getting that call.
Do you believe that most people and most candidates have what it takes to be who they are?
That's fire. Absolutely. Absolutely. On paper, there's a lot more qualified candidates than they know and are able to articulate when it comes down to having a conversation. So some of them have some apprehension or some doubt on their alignment with the role and what their background entails. So talking with the recruiter definitely helps to get some more clarity on what the role and what the hiring managers are seeking. So that way you can reassess what you've done and how it relates to what they're looking for. So I would say there's more qualified candidates than they are able to speak to, because even if you haven't done the job, you can always speak to you being a fast learner. You can always speak to something else that you have done that can complement what they're asking. Obviously, you don't need to lie. You don't have to fabricate your skill set, because people can see through that. Like if you aren't true to what you're trying to speak to, people can hear that. So it's better to be transparent on you being a student, things you're done similar to, that way to show them that you're always eager to be mutable and conform and adapt, and you are not just waiting. You're active regardless.
Man, you said something that was so powerful, and what I heard was, even if you can't, oh God, and I only like saying the word can't,
Yeah.
but even if you can't, tell what you can.
Yeah.
Like, it's empowering when you say, hey, I don't know yet, but here's what I am willing and able to do.
People do it at restaurants. Waiters do it all the time. The good ones do it. Hey, do y'all have what's a food? Give me a dish.
Calamari.
Calamari. So no, we don't have calamari. So, a regular waiter would say, nah, we don't have that. Mm-hmm. Another waiter would say, nah, we don't have this, but we do have shrimp, or we do have this. So it gives people more credibility, and you just look more fully encompassed. Like you just have more aptitude. You're just not somebody who just says no. You're a problem solver.
So help this is major for me. So you're not rejecting the situation without presenting a solution.
For sure. I love that.
And so I don't know that, but what I can do and what I am capable of is being able to put this in place and connect these dots. And if that's the result that you're looking for, would that work?
For sure.
Because they work together. So it's more or less, you said problem solvers.
Problem solvers are the ones that can solve the most problems. Let me put it like this. Your paycheck is directly correlated to your ability to solve problems. The better you are at solving problems, the more people have to pay you.
If you can say that one more time. That was the one.
The better you are at solving problems, the more your paycheck will be in alignment with the amount of problems that you solve.
Okay. I need that as a clip, because I think what I'm hearing is your paycheck reflects you. Your bank account, your output reflects your input. So if you are able to solve problems for people, they will pay you.
Nah, for sure. And we talked about the water, and that kind of leads me into like whatever you pour into yourself reflects type vibe. So if you pour into yourself confusion about the interview process,
Yeah.
if your resume speaks to confusion,
Yeah.
That's what's going to reflect. So, that problem solving is big, because I used to be frustrated that people were coming to me with problems when really they've seen me as a problem solver. So they're coming to me in confidence.
Wow.
Why don't I have that same confidence in myself?
You This is good. You're helping a lot of people. Because what you're saying is, I think you said water reflects, right? And so when you see yourself the way other people see you, not only does it reflect, but your actions reflect the problem solving. And so your bank account will reflect, you become resourceful. You become somebody that they want to pay because you're seeing yourself as useful, helpful, resourceful, because they're coming to you with problems. Instead of saying, why you keep coming to me with problems, you're saying, hey, I'm the person that they come to. So that means, you get paid for it, right?
Your reality is a reflection of your personal reality. Your reality is a reflection of your personal reality. So whatever you see about yourself, whatever you feel about yourself is what's going to reflect.
And so whatever you project in the interview is what they're going to see.
Exactly.
So if you're going into the interviews with positivity and low experience, but because your energy is like, you know what, I'm willing to work, I can do it, just give me a chance. What does it look like to research the company or?
That's a beautiful segue, because the less you know about the job that you've been fortunate enough to have opportunity to interview for, the more you have to do in another area to make up for where you're weak in. So there's no point in coming into an interview knowing that the role is a little bit above your skill set.
Yeah.
And then not do more work on the back end. I like talking basketball, right? So if someone's not a good shooter, they're not a good scorer, you have to be good at something else in order for you to get minutes on the court.
Yes.
You can't be a bad shooter and then not play defense.
Yes.
Now, if you're a bad shooter, you can be really good at hustle, rebounds. There's so many other ways you can add value. So if you're not good at a certain skill set when you're applying for a role, at least know the company, right? At least know some target goals that they have or the trajectory. So the culture piece sometimes is that much more important than the skill set piece. People got to want to be around you, like you. People got to want to go eat lunch with you.
I think, I'm telling you, for me, I think that's one of the biggest traits ever, is to be likable, right? You don't even have to be skillful, but there's a skill to be likable.
For sure.
And so we know Flavor Flav, he was a rapper, but he didn't rap. But he made everybody else around him feel likable. So he was an encourager, right? And so even if you don't get in the game, if you're on the team and you make the locker room feel better, they want you on the team.
It's like a Udonis Haslam or somebody that's been in the league for longer than they probably should have.
100%.
So yeah, people forget what they say. People forget what you do and
They
say.
never
They never forget how you make them feel.
I think that's
that
really
type
good.
energy.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Being likable, being coachable, being on the team. I think that's a really, really good.
So if you can do your research on the interview, the hiring managers that are in the interview, if you could look at their LinkedIn, know some history about their background. Not that you'll necessarily speak on all of it, but it does help create a sense of calm when you have done all that you can do and then you stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like a level of preparation that creates calm that suppresses that anxiety. Because, being nervous and stuff like that, it just means you care about the results at the end.
100%. Tierra always says, and I promise you, I used to have a challenge with this when we used to go to the restaurant, and I never understood it because I had a different approach to marketing. Tierra will always go to, the waiter would come, and she'd be like, I'm Tierra, and this is my husband, Wally. I'm like, yo, stop telling these people my name, bro. But she was breaking down the barrier, right? And when she teach this in business, she say, all right, find out what football team they like and say, how's Dallas and and now you done broke the wall of, we're not just talking business, but we find something that we like together. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a real story or not, but you're breaking the wall before you get to the spot of being able to separate yourself with other elite candidates. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Tell you work with a lot of staffing agencies or companies. Why Consult Lemonade? Why do you come back and recruit or send opportunities our way? Why do you like grabbing people from us?
Yeah, I love that. I'm in tune with the structure. I've been fortunate enough to be boots on the ground and be hands-on in some capacity to learn and see. So I trust it completely because I know the preparation that is going into candidates and what's necessary to be ready. You know, so that's I just feel like even if you don't think you're ready, if we come into you with an opportunity, somebody think you're ready. So you need to get ready.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
What they say, stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. I hear all that, but sometimes opportunities come so quick that you just don't feel like you're ready. Yeah. You just gotta believe and trust that what you've done up until this point and whatever you can do to align yourself within that time window is enough. And just go in there confident. And sometimes, you know, we could say be ready all day. Then the opportunity comes, you're not ready. Right? But sometimes it takes those moments to where you're like, man, I kicked that one. For you to really lock in and know that.
So 100%. So I think I was saying, I always say, or like to say, we appreciate after we lose. Like, you only get to a space of valuing time when you no longer have it, or opportunity or play, meaning when you lose that job, when you lose that moment, you tend to value it, you know, a little different.
Well, they say it's a window of opportunity, but you can't miss the opportunity within the window. Or you just gonna have to wait another year for that opportunity. It's gonna come back around. That ain't gonna be the best you ever seen. I can assure you that. But there is a window for sure.
And so how do we encourage the people in this time of AI, preparation, skill set, skills outside of storytelling? What type of skills do you think most candidates need for the market today?
We talked about storytelling, relatability to what you've done, to what they're seeking, and just doing your due diligence on the trajectory, the scope of where the company's going, so that way you can meet them there. So it's not always about what you've done. It's sometimes knowing where the company is going and how what you're doing will align to where they're going. Because no one is hiring somebody based on where we are right now and what we need right now. We're hiring off what we think the next 6 months will look like.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to hire an eagle and train them to be an eagle than to hire a duck and try to train them to be an eagle. They're going to try to find a person that's already on the same timeline, same wavelength.
That's so good. That's so good. And I just think of added value, right? When you're able to add value versus chasing money, you're able to add value to, all right, you guys are heading in that direction. I can't do that, but where you're trying to go, I can add value to that. And when you're speaking to like, hey, you come into an interview and saying, I know you guys are looking to do in the next 5 years. Have you considered? They might not even consider that.
That'd be nice.
And yes, you can't even you can't do that other stuff, but because you know where they're trying to go, you can help them get there.
And how do you add value? You add value by adding value to yourself and becoming a reflection of that. And that's what you project. So adding value to yourself, a tangible skill set, because all this rah-rah is cool, right? But I'm all about application and how can you be consistent, right? Because consistency is the currency that we all seek.
Yeah.
So just putting something on your calendar, 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
A block on your calendar, 30 minutes a day. It might even be 10 minutes.
10 minutes is the goal.
Is feasible. That's a lot more easable.
I'm talking about, you do the study, 10 minutes a day is more than 80% of the world.
Yeah.
In anything.
Yeah.
You read 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
That's more than 80% of the world.
Bro, it could even be a podcast.
100%.
It don't necessarily mean you listening to how to sell or whatever the case may be. It's just 10 minutes a day. It could be in your car.
100%.
Let your car be a college.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like when you driving around, just put 10 minutes on. You don't gotta know every track to every song. Just put on something that keeps you in that rhythm.
Yeah.
So you're just not rusty after 6 months of being on the sideline waiting for a job.
I think I want that one again. I think that was probably one of the best ones I've heard in a long time. You said when you have a dream role, you're waiting on the dream role. I think, and you say when you don't practice interviewing, by the time you get the interview, you'll be 6 months out of interviewing, and so the dream role, you miss it.
For sure. I mean, because even if you get the dream role, you think there's not going to be trainings? You think there's not going to be continuing education?
Yeah.
So why not automatically start factoring that into your habits, like into your mindset to know that this is...
How do you do that? How do one, in 6 months, how do you practice? In 3 months, how do you practice interviewing? What would they do?
You can ask questions, find out people who's in the roles and the seats that you already want to be in, and surround yourself around that energy.
Okay.
Staying around that fire keeps you excited.
Okay.
When you are feeling low periods where you're not getting any type of motion, you need to be around some motion. If you in a drought, you need to be around people who's in flow.
That's good.
Yeah.
So if I'm at the house and I've worked on my resume, I'm putting in job applications, I'm not getting any callbacks. What do I do in the house to help me practice interviewing prep?
Yeah, so the callback isn't the win. The win is the actual application. The win is making sure your resume is tight. The win is making sure that you can speak to your resume. And one way you could do that is just have conversations with people in your house, right? So if you got kids, you got children, you got family members, hey, sit down for a second. Let me tell you something. You don't even have to know what I'm talking about. You don't even have to respond. Let me just tell you about how I was able to transform this company from this percentage to this percentage, how I was able to use this and just start having conversations. Get it out of your body and let it flow to a point to where you're becoming confident through the repetition.
Yes.
Repetition builds confidence. It don't matter. Your brain don't know if this is real or not. You treat it real. So that way, when it's time to really come, you've already been doing this. You've been getting your reps in.
Wow. Tierra always say repetitions beat truth any day. You just said your brain doesn't know if it's real. So if you practice if it's real, it becomes real to you.
For sure.
So when it's time that it's real, it becomes practice.
Yeah.
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. So you can just practice with your dog.
You can practice with your dog. Anybody with eyes that can look at you. It could be your mirror. It could be you talking on a voice note. But just 10 minutes a day, just keeping yourself in a flow state, and you're not necessarily worried about the outcome. If you can take away the outcome and move in a place to where, there was times when you would play games as a kid, you didn't really care if you won or lost. You were just happy playing, right? So if you can get to the point where you're taking away the end goal, which we know is there. However, we also said it's already yours. So take away the objectifying if they call me back, if I get the job or not, and just get back into a flow state of having fun, just being, right? Applying, learning, being a student, being engaged, going to meetups. Yeah, it gets draining, and that's where you lean on companies like Consult Lemonade, or you lean on people that can pour back into you, right? And allow that to be your charging station. Because when your battery's low, you can't do big goals with a low battery. So you got to be around people that can help charge you.
That's so good. That's so good. One of the things I've been on these 3 letters this year has been one of my goals is TCI, and I pretty much helping a lot of people remember TCI. Give yourself time. Be consistent and be intentional. And ask yourself, have I given it time for that thing to work? Am I consistent at doing that thing?
Sure.
Practicing?
Yeah.
And am I, like you said, clarity, am I intentional on the direction that I'm going? When those three things align and you're honest with it, you can be okay when it's time to move or it's time to wait.
Right.
I think it's very important to be honest. Like, we can't want a six-figure job,
right,
and we haven't put the time in.
Right.
Like, we haven't put the reps in.
For sure.
We're not confident at speaking to something that we say we want, but we haven't prepared for it.
Yeah, the higher up you go, the more competitive jobs are, the more skilled players that are in that arena. So to speak to the market as far as what I've been seeing, I don't think that the market got more difficult, but it did get more precise.
Okay.
So they're a lot more looking for somebody who fits a certain avatar.
Mm-hmm. What is the avatar?
So basically, like the skill sets, the tenure, the length of time they've been in certain roles, and just how it aligns with what the company is pursuing moving forward. So if you can understand the cultural fit and things of that nature, which I never thought really mattered, but that culture is really important. So you should look at a company's mission statements, their values, and if you can throw some of that little razzle dazzle in some of your conversations, it will resonate more.
One of my 100%. I've mentored and talked to and consulted plenty of businesses, plenty of students, plenty of kids, plenty of athletes, and I always say, you should interview the college and the coach, because I don't know if I want to play for you.
Yeah, that's fire.
I mean, I know you like my skill.
That's fire.
But I don't know if I want to play for you. And so my job is to make sure your locker room, your coaching staff, your team, your environment is where I want to be at.
Yeah.
And that's the real thing, whereas though, hey, that's a good company, I believe. Let me see how y'all help people grow. Yeah, I can go off for a compensation package. I can go for some money, but will this help me and be the environment that's going to steward my gift, that's going to help me grow?
Yeah.
That's a real thing, because the way you're looking at me, I should be looking at you.
Yeah. I mean, I think starting out, you may not be able to have that leisure, but I do think there's a power in knowing what opportunities aren't for you also.
100%.
Just because somebody gives you a glass of drink don't mean you need to be drinking out of every cup. Yeah.
So
don't be thirsty is what I'm saying. Like, you could be opportunistic, you could be eager, but once you get to a certain place, I was turning down jobs that I would have been geeked to work at. You know what I mean, back in the day. So I think starting out, you may not have that leisure, but there is a fine line between knowing, all right, this is an opportunity I can grow in, and this is an opportunity that just doesn't match.
So those kind of jobs, what is the market looking like for compensation, pay? What's the total comp? What's a good way of, say I need 80 to 120, and say I want to roll at 120, but they coming in at 90. What's a good compensation should I look for, as of not just giving me numbers, but it also give me a back end where as though it makes sense for my trajectory?
Yeah, I mean, I think the region that you live in plays a part into that. So the geographical region, the resume or the job application generally will speak to what the compensation is. So you can start to quantify based on the tenure, the amount of experience that they're looking for. Generally, there's alignment with that and what they're willing to pay. Because all companies have to be competitive with other companies. So
Got it.
Once you start seeing a couple roles, you'll start to be able to process, all right, so this is aligned with this price point.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So let me ask you this, as we begin to close. Tell me something. A lot of us, I'm not sure if they came in with clarity, doubt, belief. I'm pretty sure if they paying attention to Consult Lemonade, they believe something can happen. Now, is a lot of things that, they might be operating from because they're feeling scarcity, not from the job, but from their belief in their skill set. What would you say, what's some inspiring words or some encouraging words that will help them tap into a positive mindset when they're going for this job market out here today?
I mean, one, you're closer than you think. You just are lacking alignment a lot of times. And then that imposter syndrome that we have when we're applying for jobs, or when we actually get the call, or even when it's time for the interview.
Yeah.
People still have imposter syndrome, and I speak to myself as well. Is you already can do the job. So once you can affirm that, you'll start to find ways, even if you haven't done specifically what the role is speaking to, put it in ChatGPT, ask people, ask other trusted resources, how has what I've done connect to what this role entails and where they're going?
That's good.
And then affirm yourself and speak life over yourself.
That's good. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Get other, we call it borrowed belief, but get others to speak to what they know you can do.
I love that. I love borrowed belief because it's like fabricating and using your imagination in your favor. I think it was Apocalypse, they were talking about that, or something along those lines. But we can use our imagination to think about all the things that could go wrong.
100%.
And we can use that same imagination to be creators.
100%.
And architect all the things that could go wrong.
100%.
Go right, right?
It's the same thing. It's the same. You are creating, this is anxiety. You're creating something that didn't happen.
Like we talked about water and flow.
Yeah.
You know, you are also a conduit
Yeah.
of how that water flows too.
Yeah, 100%. You are 50-50. You're 50% right.
Yeah.
If it's gonna go wrong, it'll go right.
Yeah.
Why not lean on it's gonna go right?
Yeah.
It's gonna take the same amount.
No, for sure.
So I'm excited about this conversation, man. I hope these tips and tricks help someone believe and tap into the strength that they already have. They already know that they can do the job.
Yeah.
You're applying for it, so you believe it. Believe it. I know it. I make it sound easy, but if you're applying for the role, there's something inside of you that connects to the same way you're looking for a connecting word. That role connects to something in your spirit. So remember that and go after that. And when you get to the interview, tell the story.
It's already yours. You're just choosing which one you want to pursue. So when you're applying, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. I'm just using my discernment on which one I want to pursue at the end of the day.
I think that's good. I think that's good.
So I want to leave Consult Lemonade with a quick little gem,
Let's
like
do it.
A resource, a tool. So my last Fortune 500 tech company that I worked for,
Okay.
The amount of preparation that they give candidates, that we gave candidates prior to the interview, was top tier. So I want to share a few resources.
Yes, please.
Some documents that I'll share over.
Yeah.
That really spoke to A through Z, and it's probably like 3 pages. It was super in depth. That I think if people started to review and rehearse something at this level, regardless of any role or any company they go to, if you know what the top 500 Fortune 500 companies do to prepare candidates for an interview, and you take that platform and shift it to whatever role you're applying for, you'll be more confident. And that's really all it is. Confidence is what creates opportunities a lot of times. Confidence is the currency that we're looking for. So I want to leave that with y'all. It's something that came to my mind. I always try to, if I do transition from one job, what can I take from this?
Yeah.
What can I pull from this that can help me in another situation? So I got the blueprint. I've been able to document that and put that in the back pocket. So I think helping candidates be prepared to know what it looks like at the highest level for their own trajectory, I think would be very valuable. So I'll be honored to share that.
Man, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I think that is good. It's always a blessing to have experts that come into the room and bring, I call it the ingredients. When you've been in the kitchen and you learn it, and you learn the recipe, bring the ingredients so somebody else can make the dish as well. Yeah. So I love it, man.
You already got the ingredients. We just try and get you the recipe. That's all.
That's it. The recipe.
Yes, sir.
the recipe. Remember, you need the recipe to make the meal, even if it's a snack. You just need some lemonade to go with it.
Come on, man. Ooh.
My guy, man.
That's fine.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much,
Thank
man.
You.
This was the 37th episode. Thank you so much. And my wife will take it from here. All right, bet.